What's going on, guys? Joe R, Vintage Pokemon. We're back once again because we're going to be taking a look at some of the reprints that we're going to be seeing in the newest Pokemon card set, Pokemon Celebrations, the 25th anniversary set. And I actually want to give you guys some of my thoughts and opinions on why someone that only collects vintage Pokemon cards, basically stuff pre-2002, why would someone like myself be interested in a modern set like Pokemon Celebrations? So stick around as we do a little bit of a round table, if you will, on these cards and what they have to offer the collector that would possibly enjoy them. All right, so we have an amazing video because we're going to be actually reviewing some of these cards that you're going to be finding in Pokemon Celebrations as reprints, and I couldn't be more excited about it. But I also want to share with you guys why a vintage collector like myself is interested in collecting this modern set at all, because this is the first time in the entirety of my collecting career that I am actually going for something other than a Wizards of the Coast printing. And I find it to be really significant because it's got to be really special for, I think, me to suddenly decide, you know what, I'm not going to go after just good old base set Charizard. I'm going to go after this modern variation on base set Charizard in this new set now. And there's a reason why I'm going to be doing that, and I think a lot of it has to do with the variety that this set is going to be including, because a lot of us remember that 5 years ago, there was the 20th anniversary. That was Pokemon Evolutions that we all saw, and it brought with it quite a bit of hype, and it definitely helped the hobby. A lot of the prices for cards that were vintage saw price increases right around the same time as a lot of people around my age, around 25 years, and so we're starting to get back into the hobby. We all have jobs now, we're all grown up, and now we want that feeling that we had when we were younger kids, and so Evolutions brought that opportunity. Now, 5 years later, we look at that same feeling that we had 5 years ago for the set. It's even greater now. I know that when Evolutions came out, it wasn't enough to make me bite. It was interesting, I thought, but I still didn't like the inclusion of a lot of new modern cards. I thought of it as kind of just a poor man's base set at the time. For someone that collects only vintage, like Blastoise, Charizard, Shining Magikarp, and things like that, it just didn't quite tickle my fancy at that moment in time. And Pokemon hadn't quite reached the hype that it had in the past year or two either at this point. A lot of people were still just getting back into the hobby. I was still focused more on some collection goals like getting Shadowless Charizard at the time even. So now, with the release of Pokemon Celebrations, the 25th anniversary set, we're seeing not just Charizard and Blastoise, but we're seeing reprints now of all of these cards that you see here. And there's even some here that, of course, I do not have because I only really collect vintage through to around 2002 with Legendary Collection. So we've got Dark Gyarados that is getting a reprint. We're getting, of course, another reprint of Flying Pikachu here, which is a classic card. And we're also seeing reprints of stuff like Shining Magikarp and Birthday Pikachu, which is a gorgeous card that a lot of people love. This is a favorite for so many collectors out there, I know. So it's amazing that we're going to be seeing such a wide variety of re-releases coming our way with Pokemon Celebrations. And we've got the stepchild in the room in Cleffa, which a lot of people kind of scratch their heads at, but you have to keep in mind that Pokemon is not just trying to represent the collectible cards like Charizard and Blastoise, but also from the player's perspective, the playable cards. And Cleffa was a highly playable card back in the day because it allowed you to shuffle your hand into your deck and draw 7 cards. And with no retreat cost on Cleffa, it was great to kind of throw him in there, do the attack, survive, and then pull him back out after he's done his one job, which was to get you the cards that you want out of your deck and into your hand. So a really wonderful card also, and definitely representing the nostalgia of when I collected, because that was when I was probably at my peak in terms of my collecting, was right in the wheelhouse of Neo Genesis, Neo Revelations, and in general, it's just the variety across the board that makes this very different from Evolutions. And also being 5 years further in means that there are even more collectors from the years 2000, 2003 that are pulling back into the hobby. This is grabbing their attention because it's not just hitting on Blastoise and Charizard. There's plenty of people that were only getting into Pokemon as base set was really ending. And so something like a Dark Gyarados or a Shining Magikarp, that might resonate with a lot more people. And since these have never been reprinted before, this can be seen as really special to those individuals as well. Dark Gyarados probably is getting that reprint, by the way, because it was the first pre-release card for the Dark or Team Rocket set. Not necessarily the first pre-release. We all know that was the pre-release Clefable from Jungle, which would have been a cool card to have included here as well, but I digress. Sure, there have been some hits and misses with the cards included in the set, but you're going to have that in any set that you're going to see across the board. So I wouldn't sit too long on what cards you feel like are missing. Obviously, I think a lot of people believe that the Neo Genesis Lugia should be in here, and they have Cleffa representing Neo Genesis instead. But, I mean, come on, you can't really beat Shining Magikarp. Maybe some people wanted the Shining Gyarados, but we have Dark Gyarados over here. Maybe some people wanted to have Blaine's Arcanine. Well, we've got Rocket Zapdos instead. So, I mean, it's going to represent a wide variety, but it's not going to represent everything. It just can't. It's a small set, but the nostalgia is there, and I think anybody that's ever collected Pokemon is going to be able to, they're going to be able to relate to at least a few of the cards that we're seeing in this 25th anniversary set, and I think that's important because Evolutions didn't offer that nostalgia across the board. It offered it to the people that really had a hankering or a desire to see their favorite base set artworks again, even though these have been reprinted a ton already. We know that there's base set 2 Charizard, and there's Legendary Collection Charizard, and there's Stormfront Charizard, so it's not like Charizard hasn't seen his day yet. He's seen it and then some, but with the increase in prices, the continued buildup of people coming back into the hobby from the years 2002 and 1999, and just the ever-continuing increase in popularity for Pokemon, it's not shocking in the least that this set is going to be as popular as we expect it to be, despite some people not being happy with all their favorites not being included. So, last thing I want to leave you guys with, there are going to be waves of the set coming out, so if you didn't get a chance to pull a Shining Magikarp the day it releases, honestly, I would sit back and I would wait. Don't pay a scalper double the price. You know, that kills me, and as a vintage card collector, I pay enough as it is to get some of my vintage cards, so please, just wait and hang on. I'm sure there are going to be more cards coming in stock at your local stores and online. If you're really worried, then you can use, I know, trackers online to try to get the down low on when something comes back in stock. You'll get an email update perhaps if you're watching it. So I suggest doing those things. Don't go to a site and pay triple the price for something that isn't designed to be that way. I would just relax a little bit. Okay? So guys, I hope you enjoyed this roundtable discussion on some vintage Pokemon cards and what they have to offer in the upcoming 25th anniversary set. I'm certainly excited for it. It'll be the first time I collect any kind of modern or new release card in a very, very long time. But with all the variety that we have to expect, I can't say I'm going to be disappointed, even if there are a few missing that I would greatly enjoy. But I know you can't make everyone happy, and you got to spread the love. So guys, enjoy, keep collecting, and we'll see you all next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Joe R. out.